Okay, today I'm going to talk a bit about human nature, because there are some things that we forget as human beings. We think that people are stuck in their ways. Some people, yes, maybe older people, they're less likely to change, but humans are adaptive. That's how we evolved, that's how we survived. And you know the phrase, when in Rome, do as the Romans. It's true. No matter how devout you are to one way of thinking, if you are immersed in another way of thinking, eventually it will grow on you. On most people. Everybody's different, but on most people. Especially those who are unaware and who don't realize that that capacity is there, so then they don't try to maintain who they are, that kind of thing. And it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing, but it can cause problems. And people change. And that's how brainwashing works. It wouldn't work. Propaganda wouldn't work if we were stuck in our ways. But we are malleable. We're like putty. We're easily molded, by people around us, their opinions. That's why we care so much about what people think. We will change ourselves, at least to some degree, to fit what people think. And sometimes we do it without even realizing it. Like someone who's never violent, that kind of thing, goes to a place where there's violence, and it's just a part of life. After a year or two, they might get mad and be having an argument and then slap somebody and then be like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Something like that, like that's just an example. Another thing is about helping others. We want to think that we can help people, but we have to realize that they have to want it. We can only make them aware of what's going on. We can't force them. You can bring a camel to water, but you can't make it drink. Camel or a donkey, I don't remember what the animal was, but you can give it water, but you can't force it to swallow it. You can give them the knowledge or give them the awareness of, hey, did you realize that you're doing this or you're not doing, but you can't make them change. You can't make them want to be different. You can't force them, to be one way or the other. And so, people who think it's their responsibility, it might be your responsibility to help or to try or to educate or whatever, to point it out, but you can't force anybody. They have to be willing. Now, you can help them if they ask for help, but they gotta do it. They gotta work at it. You gotta work at it. I gotta work at it. We learn that. We can't. It's not just gonna magically happen. They have to want it, and they have to agree to try. Jesus. And so when something goes wrong, and you're like, well, why didn't you stop it? Or why don't you try and help them? Well, you can't do everything for them. It's the same thing with yourself. You've got to realize that you have to acknowledge things before you can change them, and you have to be willing to change. Or to stay the same, or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like, we can't leave it up to other people. And as much as I love religion, and I respect it, and there's a lot of good that comes from it, one thing is we just give too much. Like, Jesus died for our sins, so what, we'll just get away with anything? Like, he died for our sins, but it doesn't mean that we won't suffer, and we're not losing something for doing it. We'll be forgiven, but there'll still be consequences. But anyway, I'm sure there was other religions, I only really know of that one as an example. But yeah, those are just some things to think about. But yeah, if you hear things, but you don't see it, like people who've changed, like, oh, I know that person's not like that. Well, if you travel, you will learn that people change. Even the most devout person will change. So, the person you knew has been modified a bit. And it's fine. It's not always bad. Sometimes it's good. But we have to recognize that this happens. We can't just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist and just say, oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe it. I guess that's it. In my last video, didn't load because it was too big, so I'll cut it in half and then upload it. Okay, think about it. Good luck.